Right, so let's test this mic. Okay, it works, I guess. Yes. Very good. Yeah. Let's see, I can't see who's here. All right. Let's see who's here. Hi, Shannon. Hi, from Boston. Awesome. Hi, Joyce and Ricky. Very good. This. How's everyone doing? Can you hear me okay? Bell Valley, yes, you can hear me? Can? Do this all together. Aw, hi Kathy, so good to see you on Sunday afternoon. Yes, I miss my classes. I know you all missed the class too. Welcome. At least we have this opportunity to practice here, to be in community here. I'm gonna stop the music here. So we'll wait until the top of the hour. We have about a minute and I'll start right on time. And those of you who can't be live with us, you're gonna watch this later. It's just the same energy. Those of you who are here, if there's something, oh, thank you for telling me that you can hear me okay and see me okay. You can see my setup. We have, I'm not using a mat today. I'll use my blanket. It's kind of softer and nicer for a Yin Yoga practice to just lie down on the floor if it's carpeted, or just use a blanket. Also, the practice today is it's something that I created. Today's practice and tomorrow's practice, I teach tomorrow Yin at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. These are practices that I created right around the coronavirus outbreak. So when we were still seeing each other in studio and kind of dealing with all that tension and all that pain that this crisis has caused. So this one in particular, I called it, I Release All Pain. It's a chakra clearing practice. I hope you enjoy it. So, so we will be working along the spine. That's where our major chakras reside. So, hello from LA. Awesome. And thank you, Shannon, for telling me that you can hear me too. That's great. I'm using a microphone today, which is a little bit different from Naples, Florida. Very good. So the audio should be a little bit better than previously, but please feel free to tell me how you feel about this audio. So let's go ahead and get started. Namaste, everyone. Welcome to class. My name is Octavia Nasr. If we're meeting for the first time, welcome to Yin Yoga. If you're new to Yin Yoga, I will use the first couple of poses to kind of go over the tenets of Yin Yoga. I find that Yin Yoga is pretty new to a lot of people. It is new as a practice anyway. So I find that there is a lot of misunderstanding out there, especially people who think that in Yin Yoga we're doing nothing. It's a restorative practice. It's not. So I like to kind of go over everything pertaining to the practice, why we practice Yin Yoga, how it works, just to make sure everybody is safe, and also to entertain your mind while you go beyond the mind. Yes? Very good. So come to your comfortable seat, everybody. I see you. Nicole from Texas. Chloe, I see you. Chris, is that from Canada? Is that Chris that I know from Canada? Edna and Kristen. Awesome. Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste again. Let's come to a comfortable seat to begin our practice. If you can, close your eyes. Allow yourself to arrive. Allow yourself to simply be here. If you can, close your eyes. If you can't close your eyes, that's no problem at all. Just look down towards the floor, towards your legs, towards your mat, allowing the gaze to be soft and receptive. Take a few seconds to set an intention for your practice. The practice is about releasing all pain. So maybe you want to align with that intention, knowing very well that the pain is not necessarily physical, or it's not only physical. The pain can be emotional, it can be coming from the soul body. We'll open our practice with 3 Oms. You're welcome to join me in the chant. You're welcome to simply feel the vibration of the mantra. Let's take a deep inhale through the nostrils. Open the mouth and exhale with a sigh, an audible sigh. Let it all go. And let's inhale for 3 Oms. And with your next inhale, blink the eyes open, return to the space. We're starting in corpse pose today. So for corpse, you want to lie down on your back and simply use the pillow today to place your shoulders and shoulder blades on the pillow and let your head dangle on the floor. Separate your arms, move them away from the body, separate the feet and the legs also away from each other, and simply be present. We're starting in corpse to allow the chakras to align. So you want to direct your attention to the base of your spine, the home of your first chakra, Muladhara. And then direct your attention to the space right above it, between the navel and the base of the spine, home of your second chakra. And then direct the attention right above the navel, between the navel and the solar plexus, home of your third chakra. And then direct your attention to the space between the 2 breasts, right in the middle of your chest, behind your sternum, home of your fourth chakra, Anahata. And then direct your attention to your throat, home of your 5th chakra, your throat chakra, Vishuddha. And then direct your attention to the space between the 2 eyebrows, home of your 6th chakra. And then direct your attention to the crown of your head, home of your 7th major chakra. Now take a deep inhale. Feel that the breath is traveling through your spine and all the way up to the crown of the head and all the way down to the tailbone. On the inhale, feel that the breath is traveling upwards from the tailbone through the spine all the way to the crown of the head. And with the exhale, let the breath travel downward. Take a few inhales and exhales like this, just allowing the breath to open the path. Allow the breath to start that cleansing process, that release of anything that's blocking your way. And take a deep inhale through the nostrils. Fill up that channel, that one line from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Fill it up. Open the mouth and exhale with a deep sigh. And one more deep inhale. And exhale. And then slowly, slowly, we're going to start returning to the space. Blink your eyes open if the eyes are closed, and bring your knees to your chest. Squeeze the knees to the chest as much as you can and rock side to side. And notice when you do this, with the knees squeezed like this, notice which part of your spine is getting the massage. And then keep the knees at the chest, but release your hands. And now draw circles with the knees in one direction and then the opposite direction, and rock side to side. And just notice how the lower back is now getting that massage. Take one more deep inhale and exhale. And one more inhale. As you exhale, roll over to your left like this. So keep your knees at your chest. Keep them as close to you as possible. And we're going to come to a fetal pose. So you want to tuck your chin into the chest. You want to round your neck, round your back, round the tailbone. So feel that rounding from the crown of the head all the way down to the tailbone. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And hold here. This pose we're going to hold for 5 minutes. So be here. Be present. This is where I want you to decide whether you want to have the pillow under your shoulders or not. So you can totally be here like this or like this. The most important thing is to feel that nice stretch in the back of your neck and in your cervical spine. So round as much as you can, like a fetus, going back to the beginning of it all. And stay here. And breathe. And with every inhale, you have an opportunity to lengthen your spine. Every inhale, you have an opportunity to fill up the back side of the body. And every exhale, you have an opportunity to tuck and round a little bit more. So we're going to be in the fetal pose for half of this time in this pose. And then we're going to turn this pose into a twist. But for now, allow the body to settle in right here. And this will give me the opportunity to talk about the tenets of Yin Yoga. Yin Yoga is a practice that is meant for the joint, for the joints, for the fascia. It's a practice that's internal. That's why when we work with the chakras, it's very appropriate to use a Yin Yoga practice to stimulate and to clear the chakras, bringing in relief, bringing in joy, happiness to the body as we let go of that which is causing us pain and suffering. So the first tenet of Yin Yoga is to come to an edge. And this is where it gets tricky because each person describes or thinks of the edge as something. It's very, very important to understand what the edge is. So before we move to that, I want you to take a deep inhale and exhale. And one more inhale and exhale. And stretch your right arm up towards the ceiling and start rolling back towards your back. Keep your knees here on the floor. Stretch your right arm by your side. Turn your gaze to the right. This is the twist. If you're using a pillow, this is it. I don't want you to go any further than this. You can turn your gaze to the right, you can turn your gaze to the left. If you don't have a pillow underneath you, then we can add a couple of things. And don't change just because I said you can add, right? Adding is not necessarily a good thing. It's just an option for people who have more. And if you do, you take your left hand and place it on the right knee like this and bring that right knee to the floor. And then move your left leg to the right a little bit, reach with the right hand, grab your left foot, and bring the right shoulder back to the floor. You'll be in the cat tail pose, cat catching its tail. Although you are in a deep twist, whether you're here or in cat tail, just breathe and allow your body to open up. Allow the body to release all its pain, all its suffering with every exhale. Take a deep inhale through the nostrils and exhale. And one more inhale and exhale. And very, very gently come out of the pose. Return to your corpse. So return to your back. Without the blanket, if possible, this time. And simply rest. Allow the body time to rebound. So in Yin Yoga, we have an edge. The edge is a place of deep sensation, a place where we feel certain things that we're asking for. We want to feel those things. Usually it's a stretch, it's a compression, it's a tension that we're creating in the body. And then when we feel that, we want to release all effort. We want to allow the body to be, to exist in this edge. And then we stay a while. Today, this pose was 5 minutes, although I divided it up into 2.5 minutes in the fetus, and then half of that time, 2.5 of the 5 minutes in the twist. But the entire pose was 5 minutes. So that twist in the lower back, you held it for 5 minutes. Take a deep inhale through the nostrils. Exhale it all out through the mouth with a sigh if possible. One more, deep inhale and exhale. Stretch your arms overhead. So from corpse, stretch your arms overhead, point the toes, full body stretch. Clasp your hands, turn the palms away, flex the feet, and another full body stretch. Hug your knees to your chest, and same thing as before. Rock first, side to side, and then keep your knees at your chest. Release your hands, draw circles with the knees in one direction and the opposite direction, and then rock side to side, and notice how that massages the lower back more than any other part. Very good. So now from here, take a deep inhale. Exhale all of it. One more inhale. As you exhale, roll over to the right. And again, find the fetal pose here. Take all the time you need. Tuck your chin into the chest to round your back, round your neck, round your whole spine. Feel that rounding and exist in it. And again, we're going to hold this for 2.5 minutes. And then move from the fetal pose to the twist. This gives me the opportunity to continue explaining Yin Yoga. So Yin Yoga is the yoga of the joints. It's the yoga of the fascia, the connective tissue. It's the yoga of the glands. It's the yoga of the energetic body, the yoga of the subtle body. So in Yin Yoga, it doesn't really matter what we look like in the pose. And what matters in Yin Yoga is how we feel in the pose. So this is where you want to be very careful. It's not about the shape. It's not about being in a certain shape, although we give the poses names and we try to be as close to the posture, the shape of the posture as possible. But for each person, the pose is going to look different. So for you, the pose is going to be unique because you have a unique body, because you have a unique skeletal body, a unique musculature, right? We're very, very different people. Yes, we're alike in many ways, but our makeup is different because everything in this body was created because of circumstances, starting with the DNA and then our lifestyles, how we grew up, where we grew up, the food we ate, the water we drank, the air we breathed. So with that in mind, it's important to understand that the edge is something that is appropriate for you and very, very unique to you. And in Yin Yoga, we are searching for a sensation, a deep one sometimes. It's a spectrum, so you can go deep in the sensation, but we don't want pain. So that's important to keep in mind. We're not searching for pain. As a matter of fact, we want to be as far away from pain as possible. So prepare to start coming out of this fetus. So you're here. Take a deep inhale and exhale first. One more inhale and exhale. Stretch your left arm up to the ceiling. Keep your knees on the floor on the right side and release your left arm and turn your gaze to the left. Now you can turn your gaze to the left, you can keep your gaze to the right, you can look up. That is a function of your neck, how your neck feels about this twist. But the most important part here is this. That's my main concern, the lower back. It's a deep twist here. And then we add to it the thoracic spine. And depending on where your gaze is, you're adding the cervical spine, the neck. So in Yin Yoga, we search for an appropriate edge for you. And then once we find the edge, we release all effort. So once you're here, you have to decide, do I want to stay here or do I want to go to cattail? In cattail, you place your right hand on the left knee, help it to the floor, reach with the left hand, grab your right foot, still bring both shoulders to the floor, turn your gaze to the left. And again, I am using the pillow in cattail. Please remove your pillow. Don't use it. Don't use the pillow. My pillow is soft. Try to be totally on the floor if you're going for cattail. So this is where you would be in cattail. So we've covered the first tenet of Yin Yoga, coming to a comfortable and appropriate edge for you, and then releasing all muscles over the edge, and then staying a while. So today, 5 minutes for our first pose. 5 minutes on one side, 5 minutes on the other side. We are rebounding. So when you come out of the pose, you want to come out of the pose. That's the fourth tenet of Yin Yoga. You come out of the pose very gently, very slowly. That's why in my classes, I introduce the breath. We let the breath bring us out of that depth that we're in. So take a deep inhale through the nostrils, fill up your body. Exhale all of it out. And one more deep inhale and exhale. And release this pose. And again, you're going to come back to corpse. Lie down on your back. Stretch your legs in front of you on the mat. Arms by your side. Separate your arms, separate your legs. And allow yourself to rebound. So we do rebound poses in Yin Yoga to allow the body to recover from those deep twists or deep stretches or decompressions. And when you come to this corpse, try not to help your body in any way. Try to simply be. Your body has a power. The body has a gift of healing itself. Try to stay out of its way. Take a deep inhale through the nostrils. Exhale all of it out. One more deep inhale. And exhale. Stretch your arms overhead, point the toes, give yourself a full body stretch. Inhale and exhale. Clasp your hands, turn the palms away, flex the feet, and inhale and exhale. Hug your knees to your chest and rock side to side, and see if you can notice, see if you can observe how where you place your knees as close to the chest as possible. You get that massage of the thoracic spine, maybe even the cervical spine. You release, but keep the knees bent, you get that lower back massage. So enjoy it. And then roll over to one side and come up to your seat so we can set up for our next pose. So our next pose is a saddle, for those of you who are comfortable in saddle. And I'm going to show you saddle and half saddle. Those of you who don't think you're going to do saddle, you're welcome to do half saddle. I created the sequence with both in mind. And I am going to start the timing now for about 5 minutes for those of you going for the full saddle. Full saddle, knees bent, the knees are facing forward, the tops of my feet on the floor. For some of you, it might be like this. You might have to turn the feet out to the side. It depends, again, on your body makeup. From here, you can either lower, so you take your hands, forearms to the floor, and lower all the way down to the floor. See, I have a pillow here. So if you want, you can use the pillow and lean on your pillow like this and stay right here. You don't have to go deeper than this, okay? Now, if this is not happening for you today, we'll do half. So half a saddle is this. And the other one bent, but with its foot on the floor like this. And you do the same thing. You lean back. If you can, lean all the way down. Those of you who want to use your pillow under your spine, you're welcome to do that. Under your shoulder blades, you're welcome to do that. So in other words, you support your half saddle. And I will tell you when we get to the halftime of this pose, I'll show you the side of this. So if you're using your pillow like this, you'll come to that seat between your feet. So notice how my hips are sitting between my feet. And again, if a full-on saddle isn't happening, you half, and I'll tell you when to switch to the other half. And you start here, so hands on the floor or on your pillow, forearms on the floor or the pillow, then you hold back on the floor or the pillow. The stretch, the sensation here is in the quads mainly. Okay, so the quads, the hip flexors are getting a pretty deep stretch here. And again, go back to the same tenets of Yin Yoga. They apply to every single pose. One, you come to a comfortable edge, an appropriate edge, not a place of pain or suffering or a place of injury. So if you feel numbness, tingling, any of that, you need to come out of those. We're approaching the 2.5 minute mark. So those of you who are in half a saddle, you want to switch. So start taking a deep inhale and exhale. And another deep inhale and exhale. I won't ring the bell for you. Just know that you need to switch to the other side. So come out of the pose, come back to the seat, and set up for the half saddle on the other side. Again, if you're doing this, this is what it would look like. One knee bends with its foot on the floor, hips on the floor. The other knee bends, the shin is on the floor, top of the foot on the floor, or for, if this is you in saddle, then turn the toes out to the side. And same thing, lean back, either stay here or go all the way down to the floor. So with our first postures, we worked with the lower back, home of the first 3 chakras. So the first chakra is responsible for our safety, shelter, food, family, ancestry. And these chakras are not chakras that are born now. They're chakras that developed when we were very little. So a lot of times these chakras are holding on to stuff from a long, long time ago. So if you feel tightness or pain in those areas, physical tightness or pain in those areas, there is a chance, there is a possibility that you're holding on to something that you need to release. So this is a good time to work with your energetic body, to work with your chakras, with your energetic system, your energetic centers, to let go of the stuff that's holding you back. So we have Muladhara, our base chakra, at the base of the spine. Swadhisthana is right above it, between the base of the spine and the navel. So that's responsible for our desires, our reproduction, our wishes, our dreams. A lot of them are buried there because they are never manifested. We never really deal with that stuff. So take a deep inhale and exhale. One more inhale and exhale. Come out of the pose. Very, very slowly. Be careful with that groin stretch here in the saddle pose. And simply lie down on your back in corpse and rest. And that allows me the opportunity to cover Muladhara, Swadhisthana, and Manipura. Manipura is our third chakra. It's right here, it's at the core. So right above the navel, between the navel and the solar plexus, between the navel and the diaphragm. And it is responsible for our willpower. If we are constantly doing and not stopping, or if we don't want to do anything, these are the extremes. When this chakra is balanced, then we have a balance in our life. We're able to go when we need to go. We're able to pause when we need to pause. And then if our Swadhisthana chakra, the second chakra, is balanced, then we're not going after desires all the time, wanting to do things, wanting to buy things and acquire things and have sensations. And we're not lethargic either, not wanting anything. I don't deserve anything. I don't want anything. And Muladhara, the feeling of home, belonging, feeling sheltered, feeling safe, right? And these chakras are very physical. So I wanted to cover those. Now that we've gone over those, we're able to move upward. We're able to move to the more spiritual chakras, move more from the physical to the metaphysical to the spiritual. Take a deep inhale and exhale. One more deep inhale. Exhale, stretch your arms overhead, point the toes, full body stretch. Inhale and exhale, clasp your hands, turn the palms away, flex the feet, another full body stretch. Inhale and exhale. And now stay where you are. You can bring in the pillow or not, totally up to you. But if you're using a pillow, take it like this, place it like this under your spine. So like this. And then we're gonna do butterfly legs. So the soles of the feet together, the knees apart. And I want you to take your right hand and place it right here, right under your lumbar spine. You're gonna notice that your hand is like a perfect pillow for your lumbar spine. Your other arm, bend the elbow of that arm and let the palm face the ceiling on this side. And simply rest, simply be here. Let me make sure we're timing. We're gonna be here for about 3 minutes. Now, using the pillow under your chest opens your heart. So now we're at the level of the thoracic spine, right here in the torso, right here by the rib cage where the heart is, the physical heart, but also our heart center, the home of our guru, our best teacher. So allow this posture to open your heart first, the physical heart. It's a back bend at the level of the whole spine, but mainly now we're working with the thoracic spine. When you inhale, feel this expansion in your chest, allowing yourself to get in touch, allowing yourself to come very, very close to your anahata chakra, your heart chakra. And of course, the heart chakra is responsible for love, feeling love, giving love, and receiving love. A lot of times we're giving love, and we're not allowing the time and the space for us to receive love. There are many, many reasons for that. We're not going to get into the psychology of all this. We're going to keep it at the yoga. But when we work with energy, this happens a lot. That when you're there and thinking about your heart and your heart center, and you're breathing and you're feeling the expansion and the shrinking when you empty, shifts happen. So allow yourself to exist in those shifts. Feel anything that comes up, anything that shows up for you. Feel it. Be present with it. Don't be afraid of the stuff that comes out. Take a deep inhale and exhale. And one more inhale and exhale. I want you to simply switch hands. So the right hand releases from under your back, elbow bends, and palm faces the ceiling. And the other hand goes under the lumbar spine with the palm on the floor, creating that pillow for the lumbar. So again, see if you can release all your effort, release your whole body, allow the body to open up. Maybe you can picture what it's like to be loved and what it's like to give love freely, abundantly, and receive freely and abundantly. feel how much you deserve to give and receive love. Feel that you are love. You're breathing in love. You're breathing out love. But also feel that you're breathing in anything that purifies your heart center, that purifies your soul, your energetic channels, your energetic centers. And maybe you want to repeat to yourself the intention of this class: I release all pain. I release all pain from my heart center. I release all pain from my core. I release all pain from my abdomen. I release all pain from the base of my spine. So with every inhale, bring in goodness, bring in purification, bring in renewal. With every exhale, simply let go of the stuff that holds you back. Take a deep inhale through the nostrils and exhale. One more deep inhale and exhale, and release this pose. And again, you're going to release this pose and go back to your corpse. Allow the body time to restore. Allow the body time to heal itself. Anahata chakra is the transitional chakra between the physical and the metaphysical, the spiritual, the more subtle chakras. So from this point on, the practice is more of a meditation on the idea of releasing all pain. Maybe you can tell which pain you're releasing, but it's not important to name things because that's being judgmental. What's important is for you to simply be, simply exist, simply breathe. Take a deep inhale through the nostrils and exhale. And one more inhale, stretch your arms overhead, point the toes, full body stretch here, exhale. Clasp your hands, turn the palms away, flex the feet, inhale and exhale. Hug your knees to your chest, rock side to side. And roll over to your belly and prepare for crocodile pose. So for crocodile, you want to place your forearms on the floor like this. The elbows are right under the shoulders. The forearms are parallel to each other. Spread your fingers wide. This is a compression of the lower back, so this is very much a back bend. But feel the compression in the lower back and notice where you feel it. If this is too much for you, you can simply stay here in crocodile pose, which is the rebound pose here, okay? So you can totally stay here. It's still a back bend. It's a very, very tiny back bend, but it's a back bend nonetheless. It's a compression of the lower back anyway. Those of you who are comfortable here, come here. Again, feel that compression in the lower back. Keep your gaze either between your palms or straight ahead. You don't want to lift. You don't want to look up, tilt the head up, or tuck the chin in. You want to either look straight ahead or keep your gaze between your hands so you keep your neck sort of neutral here. The most important sensation here is the lower back. That's it. Those of you who would like to deepen, to feel a little bit more of that compression in the lower back, only if it's safe for you, we're going to go to seal pose in a bit. But before we do that, I want you to know that throughout this pose, you can, anytime you feel you need to release, you simply release all the way down to the crocodile. Okay? There's no right or wrong here. You can be in your Sphinx. You can be in your seal pose. You can also be in cobra pose. All of them are compression of the back, but one is deeper than the other and one is deepest. That's the cobra. So if you're going for seal, you want to turn your hands, the right hand turns to the right and the left hand turns to the left, and then press the floor away as you straighten your arms, and notice how you compress the back a little bit more here. So you can stay here, again, for about a minute, 30 seconds, whatever works for you. But we want to try to be in a pose for at least a minute for the effect to take place. And in Yin Yoga, you've heard me say this, you've heard other teachers as well say this, those of you who practice Yin on a regular basis, but it's important to understand what we're doing. What we're doing is applying a gentle but consistent pressure on the joints of the body in order to reach the fascia, in order to reach the deep tissue of the body. That's what makes the practice internal more than external. So the external, the shape, the aesthetics have no place here. We don't need to worry about them. What we need to worry about is the sensation, such as now this compression in the back. So if this, for example, is too much, all I have to do is just lower down, find an edge that I can hold for the duration of the pose without harming myself, without feeling any tingling, any numbness, or any sharp pain or sharp heat. So at any point you feel you want to come down here, you're welcome to come down here. You still have a little back bend. Those of you with back pain, you'll notice, you'll see, you'll feel it. Sometimes people look at someone in a yin pose and they think they're not doing anything. Or they'll be in a yin pose and say, oh, I'm not feeling anything. It's not because you're not feeling anything, but you're not in tune. Just listen to your body and notice what the body is going through. And if you're not feeling anything, that's not a bad thing. So wherever you are, we want to start to come out of the pose. Those of you who are even higher, if you're here in the cobra pose, you want to start lowering down. So maybe everybody can take a deep inhale, exhale, start lowering down, inhale, exhale. And again, take all the time you need to come out of this pose. When you feel it's appropriate to come out of the pose, you have about 20 seconds left. You can stay here or simply release. Your choice. If you're able to stay in the compression a little longer, you're welcome to do that. But eventually, you're going to come down here. Place your forehead on your hands or on the forearms. Rock your hips side to side. Release all tension. And allow the body time to rebound. Now we're going to start moving to the upper chakras. Vishuddha is our throat chakra. That's next. Take a deep inhale here and exhale. And one more deep inhale and exhale. And then when you're ready, you're going to bend your right knee and bring it as close to the edge of your blanket or your mat or your bed as possible. And you can, this is where the neck is going to be involved. You can make a pillow out of your hands. You can also use this pillow and either turn your gaze to the right like this, or turn your gaze to the left like this. Or simply, if you have a block, also you can do that. Place the block here and let your forehead rest on the block. So you can keep the back of the neck stretched out. If a twist here of the neck of your cervical spine is not appropriate for you. So whatever you choose, totally up to you. But this is half frog. For those of you who feel comfortable in a full frog, if you've been practicing Yin Yoga for a long time, you're comfortable going for the full frog, you're welcome to do a full frog for about 4 minutes. And I'm timing, so I'll tell you that the 2 minutes are over for you, for those of you who need to switch. But also, if you are in a full frog, I will tell you to either ease off or just stay for the next 2 minutes. So now, direct your attention to Vishuddha, your throat chakra. So direct your attention to your throat. And your throat, Vishuddha, our throat chakra, is responsible for our truth, our voice. It's also responsible for not just speaking our truth, but also hearing our truth and listening, paying attention to other people's truth. That's part of the alignment. If you're constantly talking nonstop, you really don't have time to listen to the other side, to listen to maybe a different opinion. If you're constantly speaking, making noise, moving, you have no room to absorb, to receive, to notice if you need something, if something is missing, or if you're out of whack. Switch to the other side. If you're in half frog, if you're in full frog, just know that this is half the time in this pose. Those who are in half frog, come out of it back to the belly, and then bend your left knee and move it to the side. Again, same thing we did on the other side. Your neck can either twist, how you're looking to the right, or you're looking to the left, or simply keep your forehead on the floor. You can use your hands, you can use your arms instead of the pillow or the block. So Vishuddha is the chakra of our truth. And in today's practice, our truth is to let go of everything that's causing us pain. So it's important to be present with that self, to be present with the mind in order to know what it is that we need to let go of. Otherwise, how do we know that what we're holding on to is causing us pain? A lot of times it's what we think is true, what we think is right, what's causing us pain. And this is where our suffering comes from, this attachment to things and people, relationships, jobs, belief systems. So allow yourself to pay attention, to listen to your own truth. Listen to your own mind. Take a deep inhale through the nostrils and exhale. And one more deep inhale and exhale. And release this pose. Release the pose. Return to crocodile. Lie down on your belly. Separate your feet. Separate the legs. Rock your hips side to side a little bit. Give yourself a nice massage. Repeat to yourself, I release all pain from all parts of my body. I release all pain from all centers of energy in my body. I release all pain from all levels of my body. Physical, the energetic, the subtle. I release all pain, the pain I know of, the pain I don't know of. I release all attachment. I allow myself to empty of everything. And then pause to receive whatever is meant for me to receive. Take a deep inhale through the nostrils and exhale. And one more. Deep inhale and exhale. From your belly, you're going to find your way to bear pose. So you're going to come to hands and knees. And take your time setting up for your hands and knees for your bear pose, because you want your wrists to be right under the shoulders and the knees right under the hips. And move your bear side to side, bending your spine sideways. Move your bear up and down, bending your spine up and down. And be aware of all those centers of energy that we work with. Be aware how they are all aligned along the spine. We worked with all of them. Your mind focused on each and every one of them. And then when you're ready, we're going for puppy pose first, and then child's pose. So for puppy pose, you want to keep the hips high. That's the important thing here. So from your bear pose, move the hands forward. Move them as far forward as you can without moving the hips. You want to keep your hips right over the knees like this. So walk your hands forward. And then from here, keep the hips high, glue your belly to your thighs, bring your heart to the floor, and either take a cheek to the mat, or the other cheek to the mat, or your forehead to the mat, or to your blanket, or make a pillow out of the hands. And again, you're going to stay right here and simply be. So you might notice the position of your chakras now, from the tailbone all the way up to the space between your eyebrows. That's why you want to keep your hips as high as possible. Imagine your spine like a roller coaster. And picture the breath as it travels up and down, still from the tailbone all the way to the crown of the head. Freeing up space, clearing the way, letting go of the stuff that you don't need. Letting go of the stuff that causes you discomfort and causes you pain. Keep sending your hips higher and higher towards the ceiling to release any of those tensions that exist in your lower back. For those of you who are going to practice with me tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, tomorrow we are going to be working with this part of the spine, the lowest part of the spine. The transition between the lumbar spine and the sacrum, and the transition between the sacrum and the coccyx, the tailbone. That's tomorrow. So today and tomorrow, today we're clearing the way, and tomorrow we'll work with that lower back pain. Those of you who suffer from that will be able to give that area plenty of time to heal. Take a deep inhale through the nostrils and exhale. And one more deep inhale and exhale. And come out of your puppy pose to child's pose, everybody. So child's pose, we're going to be supported in child's pose. So bring the blanket, place it here in front of you. Separate your knees as wide as they can go. Let the big toes touch. Take your hips to the heels like this and lower down. So the difference between puppy pose and child's pose is that the hips are releasing over the heels as much as possible. It is a pretty nice lengthening of the coccyx and the sacrum. This is our last pose in this practice today. Shavasana is next, and in Shavasana, we will focus mainly on Ajna chakra, chakra between the eyebrows. So it's not here, but it's more like inside, somewhere between this point and this point in the skull is where Ajna is. And Sahasrara, or crown chakra. So now direct your attention to the space between the eyebrows and see if you can go deeper inside of your skull. This is the seat of your consciousness, of your awareness. Now we're getting to an area that is very, very abstract. Now we're getting closer to the highest mind, the subtle mind. We're getting away from the physical, away from the gross, away from the senses. We're coming to a place of pure consciousness, pure awareness. Here, at this level, there is no pain. There's silence, peace, quiet. Take a deep inhale through the nostrils and exhale. One more deep inhale and exhale. Release this pose. Lie down on your back. Or if you want to be on your belly for Shavasana, you're welcome to do that. If you want to be on your side, you're also welcome to do that. Whatever works for you. But now you come to that place of total surrender, corpse pose. Exactly how we started our practice, lying down on your back or your side or your belly. Release all your weight. Release anything that's weighing you down. Release the pain. Release the worry. Release the fear. Simply give yourself permission to be, to exist. Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Very gently start returning to the breath, the physical breath, and start waking yourself up. If you prefer to take a nap, if you prefer to stay longer in Shavasana, you're welcome to do that. I thank you for joining me for this practice today, and I look forward to practicing with you again next Sunday, same time, 3 p.m. Eastern. And those of you joining me tomorrow, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. Namaste.